So, this one's gonna be the last one featuring The 4-Hour Body by Tim Ferriss. And yeah, really looking forward to it, really looking forward to this last one, especially because, but don't get me wrong here, of course, because it is a little bit of a shorter one, which leaves me with a lot of time to talk about these things that I'm seeing in front of me, which I guess are gonna be quite interesting. Because as I'm just reading through it while talking, there's a few things that are deeply, deeply, deeply cool and interesting and awesome, and I am looking forward to going through them. But more after the intro, as always. As every day, because, anyway. So let's see. No, it's not there. So I have to make it there, Please check out the description. Or that description, actually. Because there's a lot of free things that you can get. First of all, there is the link to the podcast, because this is actually a podcast and a YouTube quote-unquote show. On the other hand, you're also going to get 3 things, as I said. For example, the free PDFs of the things that I've highlighted in this episode or in other episodes. If I've highlighted something, then it is going to be in a tiny PDF. You can download it and print it and share it and do whatever with it. And there is everything in this that I've gone through in this episode, which is pretty amazing because some people like to listen, therefore we're having a podcast. Some people like to watch, therefore we're having the YouTube videos. And some other people like to read things. And this is why there's also the free PDF. And there's as well some music. So if you do want to have some background music in this video, then please also check out the 3rd link, or it's actually, I think, the 4th link, but 3rd section, something like that. And there's also just different tracks to choose from. And they're all, I think, an hour long. So you should be fine. Everything should be fine. Should be good to go. And yeah, enjoy the episode and I'm going to see you. That's not it. There it is. And as you can see, this is like the last part of it. Here is where we have stopped yesterday. And here's everything that is left. Even though, there is the URLs, which is in the book. And there's actually a lot of them. Around different things. Whether it is kettlebells, whether it is maybe even protein. I don't know, it could be. But I'm not quite sure about that. But many, 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 many different things. Well, yeah. And also quotes, apparently. Also quotes. Yeah, anyway. Let's get through it. Most of us have resigned ourselves to a partial completeness, just as Chad Fowler did before losing more than 100 pounds. So most of us have resigned ourselves to a partial completeness. But I actually do not really know what he wants to say with the partial completeness. We are never complete, I'd say. Never ever. Because of certain reasons. I mean, because we kind of cannot be complete. Somehow, there's always something we could work on, and there's always something that we are not really satisfied with, I'd say. What's the fastest way for someone to improve their inner game? ? To improve your outer game. A quote by Richard Branson. And yes, he's also talking about that. So if you want to be more confident or effective, rather than relying on easily defeated positive thinking and mental gymnastics, learn to run faster. Lift more than your peers or lose those last 10 pounds. It is measurable and it is clear you can lie to yourself. You can't lie to yourself. It therefore works. Recall Richard Branson's answer to the question, how do you become more productive? Work out. Which is something pretty interesting. Besides the whole fact that it is, of course, really healthy and that I think it just also makes sense for everybody to do some sports. I mean, just look up some plan and do it and then just see if it is working for you or not and just then add some things or just, strike out some things that are not working for you or some things that are hurting you, which of course should not be the case. In terms of joints, in terms of bones, if your muscle is hurting, that's fucking good. If it is burning, that's really good. But, is hurting and burning kind of the exact same thing? Not necessarily, I think. But it should be burning, to some degree. It should not be kind of, completely painful, because I think it's also not that good if this is happening. But yeah, anyway, I would say, in terms of confidence and in terms of also maybe building willpower, I do think that working out is definitely a pretty good thing. Also in terms of just developing some mental skills, I would say as well, because I mean, you have to devote yourself to it. You know, you really have to just stick to it so that you see the results, and you really have to do something about it to see the results, and also to your nutrition. You know, it's not, well, it is simple, but it is definitely not easy. Even though it's, just because it is simple, seems to be quite easy maybe, but it really is not. You know, the past days, or the past, I think the past week and a half, actually, I'd say, yes, quite. I've also been trying to, first of all, cut some weight in the first week, and in another half, I've just tried to balance it out so that I'm feeling good, because for me, it is quite not really working, as I found out, if I just cut out quite all the carbs, in terms of like, I'm not going to eat oats, I am not going to eat like just a lot of fruits, because back then I've eaten just such a lot of fruits. I still cut them down a little bit to just what I need and to just what I want to eat. But I don't want just to have an excess of them, you know, because I've seen, like, first of all, it's not good for my body to some degree. And second of all, it is like, yeah, it's also not good for my looks, you know, and I do not also necessarily need them quite, you know, because all the vitamins, I can also get them. I think maybe not all of them, but the majority of them I possibly can get them from vegetables as well, and also from other things, you know, like legumes and not really nuts, I'd say, but also nuts, you know. But I think a nut is a legume, isn't it? And also seeds and all those things. So I don't really know if we actually need fruits. I might have to check that up, because also, or check that out, or check that, whatnot. Just also because in the 4-hour work week or the 4-hour body, Tim Ferriss is also really kind of just not letting people eat a lot of fruits. The thing is, and this is something that I think that I've been talking about in the first few episodes as well, it is not good if you're having a diet that you can't stick to. You know, if you're just really looking forward to those cheat days, if you're really looking forward to just eating that bullshit, it's not good, you know, because it's not going to stick. And if it is not going to stick, then it is quite, quote unquote, unnecessary, because yeah, I know it's then unnecessary, because you're always going to find yourself craving for something. You're always going to find yourself kind of pushing the boundaries a little tiny bit so that you can get just a little tiny snack maybe. But this is not kind of just sensical, I'd say. You know, for me, having a good diet and having a good healthy diet that you can also stick to is kind of the quote unquote main goal, or it is actually the main goal. For me, that might look like, to just maybe illustrate that, I'm first of all intermittent fasting. Then I'm gonna have, and this is something that I really have to just consciously think about, have my proteins, because I normally haven't been eating that many proteins, besides all the lentils that I've eaten and all the other grains that are usually having quite a high protein percentage, like oats. I mean, like, of course, like they're having, I think, 50 to 60 grams of carbohydrates, and then like 13, at least mine. There is also just some differences between the products. 13 grams of protein, which is, if you're eating like I did, like 300 grams and 250 grams of those oats, you're gonna have like around 100 grams of carbohydrates, which is quite a lot. But on the flip side, you're also having like 13, 62, 30 kind of grams of protein, which is quite something for a person that is also not eating any dairy. And I'm also trying, even though this is something that I've also kind of reversed, eating not that many animal products. At this point in time, I'm actually quite eating a lot of eggs, because I found out that, or I found out for myself that they're working pretty fine for me in terms of like, okay, it is protein, kind of pure. Of course, there's also some fat, but if I'm eating just 2 eggs a day, I'm also getting an additional, like, I think it is, I'm not quite sure, egg protein. I do think that it is 13 grams per 2 egg protein per egg that is weighing 50 grams or something. Oh no, it's actually not. It's 13 grams for 100 grams of, for 100 grams of egg. And one egg is, they say a large egg is 50 grams, so there's going to be 6 grams of protein. To just also show you, here it is. Which is actually pretty cool that Google is having that, like these small little info boxes there. So if you're having 2 eggs, you're going to as well have 12 grams of protein additionally to that. And of course, I mean, if you're not able to just get to the amount of protein that you should have, then having, at least for me, this would be my option, having a vegan or vegetarian protein powder would also kind of work, I'd say. You know, I do not really think, and I do not want to say that you should just take the animal one, even though because of amino acids or, I think it's the amino acids, it's maybe not going to be that good because, for example, the egg is having all of the necessary amino acids, and compared to, for example, beans that are then just made to protein powder, and or what's there as well, maybe nuts and seeds and whatnot, there's not all the amino acids that actually your body needs. But I just think that it is a little bit of a better option compared to the animal product, again, kind of. But yeah, also fish is pretty cool. So the only thing that I'm actually doing is I'm not eating any dairy, just because I think that it is not something that we should be eating, even though it would just make everything a little bit easier. But I'm also seeing that in the 4-Hour Body, he's also not letting people consume it as far as I have seen it, and as far as I can remember it. But it will be just really easy. On the other hand, there's also some saturated fats that you're going to consume with every dairy product, because they're relatively high in saturated fats most often and most of the time, which is, also not that of a good thing. But I mean, if you're just having some cottage cheese, if you're having some milk, if you're having some other things, they're really high in protein, and if you're really struggling with that, then it could be a solution, But of course, let's actually go through it. If I eat 2 eggs, well, I'm actually gonna have a calculator. Calculator. People say that you need between 0.8 grams and I think it's actually 1.3 or something, 1.5 grams of protein per pound body mass. I remember, I guess, or per kilogram. Let me look at that. Protein per body weight. I don't know if I'm going to find something like that. The dairy reference intake is 0.8 grams of protein per kilogram of body weight, or 0.36 grams per pound. This amount to 56 grams per day for the average sedentary man and 46 grams per day for the average sedentary woman. But something that I have to point out there, as far as I remember, is that if you're consuming as a woman 46 grams of protein per day, you're going to have a 1,800 kilocalorie diet, which is quite nothing, I guess, or at least for me, quite. And as a man, 56, and this is totally something that I'm getting, I guess. But let's also see just what Harvard is saying there. I've looked them all up as far as I can remember, and it also just really depends on how active you are, because the more active you are, the more protein you should need, or you should also consume. Protein is more better, kind of, but not necessarily. And there's also sometimes a percentage of what. To determine your daily protein intake, you can multiply your weight in pounds by 36. Use this online protein calculator for a 50-year-old woman who weighs 140 pounds. Woman who is sedentary, doesn't exercise. That translates into 53 grams of protein a day. Let's see, and let's have a look at this. Let's actually calculate that. Protein intake calculator. And of course, and I've actually also found protein intake calculator. And let's just take one of them, I guess. So my age is, I'm 19. And again, this is a little bit fucked up there. I'm 74 things. And I am 60, I think I'm, at this point in time, I should be at 63 or something. Let's just take 64. And I'm working out between 4 to 5 times a week. Active daily exercise or intense exercise, or moderate exercise for the intense exercise 6 to 7 times a week. Daily exercise or intense exercise 3 to 4. I'm going to stick with the 4 to 5 thing. Should be fine. Age 190. Let's improve. Didn't know that I'm 190. American Dialectic Association, at least 64 and 115 grams per day. The Centers of Disease Control and Prevention says that I should be having 59 and 205 grams per day. And the World Health Organization safe lower limit 53 grams per day. But there's also like a lot of, maybe I'm gonna link that down. I don't know if I will. Chances are there that I'm not gonna, because I'm always forgetting about these things. Kind of, unfortunately. But I think I don't know. If I just only have a look at my protein, then I think that I would also be able to do that. I mean, if I then just also have a look at the amount of carbs that I'm consuming, even though I hope that I'm able to find that TDAA, is it something like that? I kind of feel, no, it's events calendar calculator. TDEE, it is. It's a pretty cool calculator as far as I have seen. Maybe it's the other one. Could also be the case. No, this one looks shit. No, I'm not going to use you. I'm going to use the other one. And then we're actually going to go ahead with the summary once again. My age is once again 19. Kilograms 64. Height 174. Activity, moderate exercise 3 to 5 times a week. Body fat percentage. This is something that you should then kind of know. But I think my body fat percentage is 12 or something. I think. And I should be eating 2,459 calories per day, which is 17,000 calories per week. But something that I do want to show is that, and my BMI is normal, even though this is complete bullshit metrics. Because if you're really bulked up, then yeah. Your BMI is going to be just completely fucked because you're going to be way too heavy, for your height probably because you're having a lot of mass there. So, yeah, all the bodybuilders shouldn't just have any fucking look at the BMI score or anybody that is looking forward to gaining some weight with just in terms of muscle, How ripped could you get? According to Martin Berkin's formula, your maximum muscular potential is 74 kilograms at 5% body fat. Which is insane, by the way. Most people have no desire to be 5% body fat, so you would be 78 kilograms at 10% body fat or 81 kilograms at 15% body fat. These numbers are good goals to aim for if you're bulking up. So yeah, there you're having it, and this is something that I do want to show you, is because you're having moderate carbs as an option, then you're having lower carbs as an option, and then you're also having higher carbs as an option. As you can see, the protein is always kind of the same. The moderate carb is 185 protein, 96 fats, and 15 grams of carbs. The lower carb is 123 carbs, 109 fats, and 246 grams of protein. But if you go just for a high carb, then you could also go for 307 grams of carbs, 55 grams of fats, and 184 grams of protein. Yeah. I do not really know if I would be able to get to 84 grams of protein. But I do just want to show you that it is not really about cutting your carbs all the way down. Not necessarily, even though there is some things associated to that and there is some stuff, It kind of makes sense, and I've also seen that it helps. Even though if I cut out all the carbs, then yeah, I'm not really eating a lot of things, quite, because the main things that I'm eating is carbs. But if we just now go ahead to the calculator, if we just take what I'm eating, I'm going to eat 2 eggs a day, which is 13 plus. Then I'm going to have 250 grams times, I think it's also 13.5 even, which is the oats. Then I'm going to have I do want to be there, here. Then I'm going to have, for example, lentils, which are, at least these ones that I'm having at home, which are pretty cool. 26 grams of protein per gram times 2. 200 grams, which is not that much, but you're already having 50 grams of protein. 2.5. I should. Can I just add something in between there? Oh, yeah, we have to then divide it by 100, I guess. And what I'm eating as well, maybe some nuts, but I which might be like 5 grams of protein or something. Maybe. Even though like I'm having some peanuts there, and they're having like 23.7 grams of protein per 100 grams, which means what is a quarter of 23? What's 23 times 4? 6 times 4 is something like that, isn't it? Yes, then it's actually 6, but yeah, anyway. What am I... But let's see what this is. 3,320, but if we divide that by 100, since we're having like 100, but I think it's way too much. No, it can't be 33.2. So let's do it this again. Well, not actually do this again. I do just want to, can't I? No, I can't. It's a little bit of a fucked up thing there, to be honest. Well, yeah, anyway, I think by calculating in my head, I'm going to have 13 plus 5 is 18, 18 plus 50 is 68. This plus around 30 is 90 around. So I'm actually pretty much good to go if I'm eating that. And I think this is quite easily done. Like 200 grams of that, especially with like the oats. I'd say, like, you know, they taste good if you're just adding some fruits. It was amazing. But yeah, let's go ahead, because this episode's going to be quite long. A Dow Joneser, someone whose self-worth is dependent on things largely outside of their control, which is always not something good. Spectral cell nutrient testing, which costs $364. This test is used to pinpoint vitamin and micronutrient deficiencies. Of the blood tests, spectral cell was across the board the most immediately impactful. Use blah 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 to look up unfamiliar blood test terms or to get a better understanding of your own results. So the link to this article is going to be down in the description. So if you want to check out all the links that are there, please do that. Food allergy experiments and polling. Most problems are caused by gluten, which you shouldn't be eating much of in the first place, and you can create food allergies if you eat the same foods and same protein sources all the time. Well, the fix: follow the slow-carb diet and change your main protein sources and stable meals every month or so. Good advice, I'd say. The Quantified Self. Curated by Wired founding editor Kevin Kelly and Gary Wolfe, a managing editor of Wired. This is the perfect home for all self-experimenters. The resources section alone is worth a trip to this site, which provides the most comprehensive list of data tracking tools and services on the web. I didn't know about that, the Quantified Self. I do hope that it is still alive, because I could be reviewing it, quote-unquote reviewing it today, of course. But it seems to be the case that it is still working, and I love that. Testing food with blood glucose. Sounds cool. What is Quantified Self? Learn how we work. I thought it is some sort of a blog, but it somehow is. Well, I'm going to have a look at it. I am going to have a look at it. Datum, conceived by Ryan Case and Nicholas Felton, Datum is an elegant and intuitive service for examining and visualizing your everyday habits and routines. I see. Observational studies cannot control or even document all of the variables involved. Observational studies can only show correlations. A and B both exist at the same time in one group. They cannot show cause and effect, which means causations and, yeah. A list of cognitive biases, which are really, really, really important. And I might also just be having an episode on them just separately, because I've been talking about them for just so many times, but still, they're really important. Brazil nuts have been shown in clinical studies to be more effective than supplementation for increasing sodium. So 400 micrograms is approximately 8 nuts per day, which is 49 micrograms each. I don't know what selenium is. The chemical element of atomic number 34, a gray crystalline non-metal metal with semiconducting properties. Now I know. Testing a primarily plant-based diet, what I'll refer to as PPBD, primarily plant-based diet. Step 1, remove starches, rice, bread, grains, and add legumes. Dense products like black bean burgers without buns are encouraged. Step 2, and I do really appreciate that he's also doing that. Step 2, ensure that all of your meat is pasteurized, grass-fed or sourced within 50 miles of your home. Step 3, eat meat only after 6 p.m., what Mark Bittman and others refers to vegan till 6 plan, or eat meat only on the weekends or on cheat days. Step 4, remove all meat except fish and or eggs and dairy, lacto over vegetarian, and then step 5, eat a 100% plant-based diet. I see, but I still don't know remove starches. Yeah, okay, because, if you're eating a lot of them, then you're going to have a lot of carbs, I guess, therefore. The most consistently recommended protein powder among vegan athletes are Sun Warrior Chocolate Brown Rice Protein, which is rice protein. Pure Advantage Pea Protein Isolate, which is pea protein. Nitro Fusion Plant Fusion, rice pea and artichoke protein, and I have also confirmed each of these non-vomit inducing when blended with 1 to 2 tablespoons of almond butter and either ice water, almond milk, or coconut milk. Because something that I've also read, and it just also, it drove me crazy. A lot of people saying like, okay, this pea protein is so shit. I hate it because it tastes shit. Because there's no sugars if you just choose the quote-unquote right one. There's no sugars, there's no bullshit, there's no whatever the fuck there might be. And they're complaining about that. And they're saying like, okay, I'm going to give it a 1-star rating because it tastes shit. Yeah, of course it tastes shit. It should also not taste good, like it is some fucking product for your fucking protein intake. Great. Choose mild hunger over breaking your rules. Yeah, definitely. Even though it's not easy, but it should also not be easy. 5 grams of creatine daily for 6 weeks, and the researchers concluded that creatine supplementation had a significant positive effect on both working memory and intelligence. What the fuck? 2 grams per day did not replicate these results in separate studies. So it gotta have to be 5 grams per day, even though something that I know with creatine is that you're gonna feel a little weird in the first few days, as far as I remember. Currently, my main source of isolated proteins is pea and rice protein powders by my favorite being Plant Fusion by Nitro Fusion. We're gonna have a look at this as well. Pre-soaked almonds, soak the almonds in water 2 to 3 hours overnight. Mysteries are not necessarily miracles. 80 to 90 models have helped Charles Munger develop, in Warren Buffett's words, the best 30-second mind in the world. He goes from A to Z in one move. He sees the essence of everything before you even finish the sentence. Charles Munger likes to quote Charles Darwin, even people who aren't geniuses can outthink the rest of mankind if they develop certain thinking habits. 80 to 90 models have helped Charles Munger developed in Warren Buffett's words the best 30-second minds in the... Well, yeah. Cool. And then we're having some quotes and then the URLs, but I'm not going to go through the URLs. And then we're going to have a look at the protein powder there because I'm interested in what it is. If it is good, if there is some bullshit added to it. Because, if there is some sugar added to it, then it's just definitely not something that I'm going to eat. Everything popular is wrong. Oscar Wilde. When seem to have confused comfort with happiness. We seem to have confused. From Dean Carnazes or something. The less there is to justify traditional custom, the harder it is to get rid of it. Mark Twain. And it is vain to do with more what can be done with less. William of Ockham. And absorb what is useful, discard what is useless, and add what is uniquely your own. Bruce Lee. And this is then actually the end of this summary. And I'm actually really, really, really early today because it is only 9:20 and I've already done quite everything for the podcast and shit that I have to do for today, which is amazing. Which is really, truly amazing. Let's see. Nitro Plant Fusion. Plant Fusion. Because I've also looked it up very, very, very recently. Not Pan Fusion, but Plant Fusion. No, I do not want to save it. Please go away. Plant Fusion. Low cost international shipping. We couldn't find the page for you. Sorry, the page you're working for is temporarily unavailable. Thank you. Let's just go on the original site then. Free shipping over $75. That's quite a lot, to be honest. Plant Fusion Purity Promise. complete protein. Please go away. We're gonna see there's products. Plant-based proteins. Sport proteins. Plant-based. Yeah, there is. Ready to drink shake. There we're having a lot of different ones. Inspire for women, complete protein, and complete organic. Since I don't really give a fuck about anything if it is organic, sometimes I do. It is good, but especially when you're just kind of just having the certificate from the EU, like there's no real criteria you have to meet for just having it, and therefore it is like, a fusion of the world's best plant-based protein sources that delivers uncompromised taste, texture, potency, and digestibility. Creamy vanilla bean, as they say, is the flavor. Naturally flavored. Vegan, dairy-free, gluten-free, and also non-GMO. 21 grams plant protein per 100 grams, I assume. The supplement facts, per serving. Servings per container, 15 serving size, scoop 30 grams. So of 30 grams, you're having 21 grams of protein, a little bit sodium, and also some potassium. Then you're also gonna have a lot of other amino acids. They've added the amino acids to it, which makes them complete. I see. The product content is based on weight and not volume. Settling of product occurs during shipping. I see. Seems to be the case that some people were complaining about that. Okay, it's not full. But if it says like, okay, it's 300 grams and it is 300 grams, then fuck off. And this is, by the way, 900 grams or 31.75 ounces. Yes, ounces. Better than before, better flavor, now zero sugar. I can't read today. It's the exact same thing over and over again, isn't it? Oh, they're different. Rich chocolate. This is as well rich chocolate. Then we have creamy vanilla bean, but this is also the first one. Yes, is there also another one? A red velvet cake. Rich chocolate once again. Cookies and cream. Again. Natural no stevia. Oh, I see. In the other ones, there seems to be... But this one is 420 grams. I see. And in the other one, there's stevia. I would have liked to just have some sort of a... I'm not really the biggest fan of just eating something that is somehow sweetened, whether it is stevia, which is having no calories. Other ingredients. Cocoa powder, natural flavors, organic tapioca powder, stevia extract powder, gur gum powder, luohan gur extract fruit, and blah, 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 blah. The thing is, actually, all of the other ones are indeed heavier. I'm sorry. The no stevia one is 840 grams, which is 60 grams lighter. And there you're only having organic tapioca powder, silica gur gum powder, natural flavor, luohan gao extract, which is a fruit, and lucuma powder and yacon powder. And this is going to be the end of the episode. I really hope that you've liked it, because I really liked this episode today, and there is hopefully a lot of stuff that you have been benefiting from. I hope, at least. But I'm gonna see you the next time, and I wish you the best. So I wish you the best health, happiness, and also success, and also hope that you're gonna remind yourself when you're gonna be remembered, which basically means your legacy, and basically means just being a nice person and then being remembered as a nice person. And with that being said, 3 other questions that I'm having for you as well are: why are you here? What are you trying to change? And what is bothering you the most? With that being said, thank you a lot for being here. I really, truly appreciate that. And I'm hopefully going to see you the next time. So, bye-bye.